Imagine this. You're running late for work, the kind of late where your heart pounds and every second feels precious. You fumble for your keys, your phone, your bag. You barely notice the wallet in your hand as you lock the door behind you, rushing to make up for lost time. The wallet feels like an extension of yourself, filled with memories, necessities, little artifacts of your life. A faded photograph, a crumpled receipt from your favorite cafe, a driver's license, a badge of adulthood. You get into your car, toss the wallet onto the passenger seat, and speed off into the blur of the morning. But in the chaos, a simple misstep. The wallet lands not on the seat, but atop the car roof. In the rush, it goes unnoticed. The world keeps spinning. You drive away, and the wallet, silent and unmissed in that moment, begins its own journey, one that will stretch on far longer than you could ever imagine. Almost a decade later, a man named Gary Brockett would relive this very story. In April 2019, Gary, a police officer in Irving, Texas, was handed a small package at the station. Inside was his wallet, lost nearly 9 years before. He had spent years believing it was gone forever, a casualty of forgetfulness, perhaps picked up and discarded, lost in the maze of city streets. Yet here it was, returned by a stranger who had found it along the railroad tracks, battered but intact, his police badge still inside, bearing silent witness to the passage of time. Stories like Gary's are not written in fairy tales. They happen in real life, in quiet, unexpected ways. And they hold within them a message about the endurance of hope, the kindness of strangers, and the mysterious ways in which life circles back on itself. Why do these stories matter? Because every lost wallet is more than a misplaced object. It's a fragment of someone's identity, a vessel for their daily existence. The loss is more than financial, it's emotional, a sudden break in the continuity of life. We're reminded of how vulnerable we are, how quickly the routines of our lives can be upended by a simple mistake. But then, something remarkable happens. Someone finds that wallet, a teenager cutting across the tracks, a worker at a construction site, a child playing near the sidewalk. They pick it up, turn it over in their hands, and make a choice. To do the right thing, to track down its owner, to return a piece of their life that was lost. In that moment, the world becomes smaller, more connected, and infinitely kinder. Take the story of Sharon Day from Fayette County, West Virginia. In December 2022, more than 50 years after the loss, Sharon received a message that seemed impossible. Her wallet, lost during a high school dance in 1968, had been found in the old Fayetteville High School, wedged deep inside a duct during building renovations. The high school, now closed, was being transformed, its walls holding secrets from decades past. When workers discovered the wallet, dusty and worn, they set out to find its owner. Through the power of social media, Sharon's name was traced, and the wallet was returned to her, reuniting her with cherished mementos from a time when the world was a very different place. Imagine opening a wallet lost in your youth, the scent of old leather, and memories rushing out. Inside, you find a faded ticket stub, a note from a friend, a photograph that captures a moment you thought was gone forever. The return of such an object isn't just a practical matter, it's a gift, a bridge to another time, a chance to reconnect with who you once were. These stories are more than coincidences. They are reminders that the world is filled with people who care, even when we're not looking. That in the sweep of years, small acts of honesty and kindness can echo louder than we ever expect. The return of a lost wallet is a quiet miracle, a thread of humanity weaving its way through the fabric of everyday life. But what about the years in between? The long stretch of time when the wallet is lost and life goes on. There's a lesson in that too. We learn to adapt, to let go, to replace what's missing and move forward. Yet the moment the wallet returns, we're reminded that what's truly meaningful can never be replaced. The badge, the photograph, the school dance ticket, these are tokens of our stories, waiting patiently until the day they come home. As you listen to these stories, perhaps you remember a time when you lost something precious, a ring, a letter, a piece of your past. Maybe you searched for it, retraced your steps, tried to let it go. Maybe, like Gary or Sharon, you found yourself years later holding it once more, amazed at the journey it had taken and the memories it stirred. Life is full of these moments: unexpected reunions, lost things found, second chances delivered when we least expect them. They teach us about patience, about faith in the unseen, about the way goodness can travel unseen corridors and emerge just when we need it most. So what can we learn from a lost wallet and the unthinkable ending that comes a decade later? First, that time has a way of healing and surprising us. What feels like an ending might only be a pause, a chapter still waiting to be written. Second, that the smallest actions, like returning a lost wallet, can have a profound impact on someone's life. And finally, that our stories are never truly lost. They live on in the objects we carry, the people we meet, and the kindness we show each other. If you ever find a lost wallet, remember these stories. Remember Gary Brockett's badge, returned after 9 years, a symbol not just of a job, but of dignity and belonging. Remember Sharon Day's high school memories, sealed away for 55 years, returned as a gift from her past. Remember that even the most ordinary moments can become extraordinary with the touch of empathy and honesty. Perhaps the real value of these stories lies not in the wallets themselves, but in what they represent. The invisible threads that connect us all. The possibility that any day, a piece of our past might return, bringing with it a reminder of who we are and how much we matter. In a world that often feels rushed and disconnected, these small miracles shine like beacons. They tell us that integrity still matters, that people still care, that even after years or decades, what's lost can be found again. They invite us to slow down, to look out for one another, to believe in the goodness that persists quietly in the background of our lives. If today you are facing a loss, big or small, take heart. The story isn't over. What you've lost may yet find its way back to you, in a form you never expected, at a time you never predicted. And when it does, you'll be reminded of the enduring power of hope, the simple beauty of honesty, and the unbreakable resilience of the human spirit. So as you go about your day, locking your door, grabbing your wallet, rushing to wherever you need to be, pause for a moment. Remember that every object you carry has its own story, and every person you meet might one day play a part in yours. Be the person who returns the wallet, who makes the phone call, who chooses kindness, because the world is full of lost things, and you have the power to bring a little bit of it back together. These are the stories we share at Kinang Song. Stories of life skills, of resilience, of inspiration. Stories that remind us that even in a world of sharp visuals and endless motion, it's the small, real moments that linger. Let them inspire you to live with intention, to treat the everyday as extraordinary, and to believe that, sometimes, the unthinkable ending is only the beginning. And so, the next time you hear about a lost wallet found after 10 years, remember, it's not just about the wallet. It's about hope, kindness, and the quiet magic that connects us all.